For most of us, dirt racing isn't just something we do for fun. It's a part of who we are. For 5 whole months, we're forced to make do without it. And trust me when I say we feel your pain. Come April, the gates will swing open and all will be right with the world again. Until then, we'll just have to talk about it. We're visiting some of the people who've had the biggest impact on dirt racing in Kentucky. We'll hear their stories and discuss the past, present, and future of our sport with the ones who know it best. This is the Road to Race Day on Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live, presented by Bluegrass Restoration and Construction.
And welcome in once again, everyone out there in Facebook world, YouTube world, wherever you are. I tell you where we're at. We're in Allen Tilley's garage here on the Road to Race Day. Here, I tell you, Wes, we're getting closer to race day. But for now, we're sitting here talking about it. But we're almost there.
In Nancy, Kentucky.
yeah, live in Nancy, Kentucky. Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live is presented by Bluegrass Restoration and Construction. We appreciate those folks over there and on Berea Road in Richmond for coming on board with us a second time this year. I'm going to try to. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Wes. You might have to help me. I'm going to try to go off the top of my head here, just with our sponsors, brand new here. So let's see. This is the Wilson Plumbing Studios.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got the Dirtman Diecast Steak Dinner Pick'em Challenge. We've got the Absolute Seamless Gutters hotline this year. The Fast Track Plumbing. What is Fast Track Plumbing?
It's a plumbing service.
Yeah, it's a plumbing. But what segment are they? Yeah, they got something to do with a house. I guarantee you that. Or a house or any kind of building, they can plumb it. But
we'll pull it up and see.
Well, let's see. All right, let's
100%.
see. I was trying to go off the top of my head, but we just ain't gonna get there. They're the guest segment sponsors, so there you go. Driver of the week this season will be brought to you by Wayne's Auto Repair. Keltner Contracting will be the Weekend Outlook sponsor, and Graphic Impressions is the official apparel supplier of Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live. You can see Wes got the brand new for 2024 gray T-shirt on.
Hot off the press.
Yeah, I've got the new black on here. 2 options for everyone this season for the Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass Live T-shirts. I think Billy did a great job, and we've got plenty of them to sell. So see us at the track, pick those up. We'd love to sell you one because we've got all kinds of them to sell.
He sure did. He did an excellent job on our T-shirts, and we're so thankful for him, and I think these babies sell like hotcakes.
Yeah, I think they will too, absolutely. Well, like I said, we're getting closer and closer to race day. We're into March here and getting closer and closer to April. Next weekend's the Spring 50 at Florence. Hopefully, if the weather cooperates, we'll be seeing some races here in the Bluegrass State next weekend. But for now, we are here at Allen Tilley's. We wanted to come and spend some time with these folks and talk about the brand spanking new KDRA Super Stock Series coming up here in 2024.
That's right. We're all excited about it.
Yeah, for sure, and excited to have you back in, involved here locally, and just really an awesome thing for sure.
Yeah, it's been a long off season for me.
Yeah.
Couple of years, and I've been around this my whole life, and I love it. So,
well, absolutely,
I had to get back in it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's really, really good to have you back. I'm curious myself. I was wondering about this on my way over here. How did all this come about? How the KDRA Super Stock Series? You guys taking? How did it come about? You guys taking that on?
Well, it's Michael and I got to talking. Michael Eldridge, which is going to be our tech director. We got talking, and these guys have been racing for years, and it seemed like everybody just kind of looked over those guys. It's just like they played second fiddle to everyone. Mm-hmm. And there's some great drivers, great people involved in it, and I just felt like they needed something, something to give them guys to race for. They've run every week at every track, and seem like they get no glory, and I think they all deserve it. And so we decided to do this, and here we are. See
Yeah.
what happens this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always one of our favorite classes. I mean, super stock guys race hard, put on a really good show.
They really do.
And so now with this, like you said, it's something for them to race for. You got a series, higher payouts and purses. So looking forward to it this year.
Yeah, they'll have the points championship at the end of the year and everything. I don't know if they've ever actually ran for a points championship or not. I honestly don't know if they have. I don't, just tracks what they would have for a points championship, and that would be it.
Yeah. I know. I think it's been a few years now, maybe since they had it. But I think Bill had a Super Stock Series going there for a while. It was I forget, but not much. And like you said, I mean, and with our podcast, besides that, with what he had there for a couple years and putting that on, there really hadn't been anything for those guys. And I mean, we're all about local racing, Kentucky racing here on the podcast. It's what we do. It's what we love, and talking to local guys. And really, we need more things like this for our local competitors, our local drivers, and things. Just
totally agree.
get them a little bit, like you said, a little bit of love too, because they deserve it for sure.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
It's there's no doubt about it. These guys, I mean, they put a lot of money in those cars.
Yeah.
And, people don't realize what it costs to race these cars. They think, it's – and everybody's – I mean, I've always been a late model fan. I've been involved in it. And but these guys put on a good show. I mean, it's they're there every weekend ready to put on a good show for the fans. And a lot of people appreciate it, and then there's been a lot of people that's kind of looked over them. And I think this will bring them back in the limelight.
Yeah.
I think it will too, and we talked there off the air. Be cool to have drivers from other states in the region, Tennessee, Ohio, Indiana, come and compete in the series and run against our Kentucky guys. So I think that'll be great too.
Oh yeah, I think so too. Had a lot of people contacting me out of town that really interested. I don't think they have a lot to work for around their house too, and it's giving them something to come and run for. So
Yeah.
That's really good.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got Michael. We've got a little issue here on Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live. We've got 3 microphone connections and 4 people, so they're gonna have to swap out a headset over here on to my right just to try to keep it where we can hear everybody. Want to hear from everybody. We've got Michael here. David Tilley, he's back here directing us. He said he's going to get the makeup out during the commercial break and touch us up, make sure we're looking our best here on
Get us snacks and
the
water.
Oh yeah,
So,
we got plenty of that.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. You talked about, you've been involved in racing your whole life and had, several things that you've done throughout the years. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that. You talked about the Battle of the Bluegrass Dirt Car Series and your time with that series.
Oh yeah, I was with them from day one when it started. Spencer Wilson that had started the whole thing. He talked to me and said, "How do you think this would go over?" And just kind of ran it by me, and I looked at him. I said, "Need it for a long time, And a few weeks later, we're putting things together and starting to get races. And next thing I know, we've got a schedule full of races, and we're going. It worked out real well. It was really popular. I mean, it's real popular among several states around here.
Yeah,
a lot of guys competed in it.
Well, and it's funny too because I mean at that time, even for a regional or you might say local at the time when it first started, just being here in Kentucky, that was something that, as far as a series goes, that was a new thing at that time too. Similar to what you're doing now with the KDRA Super Stock Series.
It was new to the area. Big races were $2,000 and $3,000.
Right.
Yeah.
We'd have a big one would be $5,000.
Yeah,
and
that's
it
big
was
money.
It was a big money when it first started.
And then, like you said earlier, I mean, it evolved into what we have as Lucas Oil, late model racing now.
Yeah.
And so that's cool to see that the roots, came right here from the state of Kentucky.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was it did. It started actually right here in Nancy, Kentucky, because Spencer lived out here too. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, he was from here in Nancy.
I got you, yeah. Well, I kind of see it the same way. For this day and time, we were at Graphic Impressions a couple of weeks ago, and it came up because one of the things we've tried to talk about with this Road to Race Day is the past, present, and future of our sport. It's something that's continual, like anything else in life. It's continually evolving. Things are changing, and I think for local dirt track racing, a series and a class like the Super Stocks are so important that it continues to grow, because it is local racing.
Oh yeah,
and in a lot of ways, in some ways not, but in a lot of ways, these cars are similar to what late models used to be.
Yeah.
You may even go back to hobby stocks for that matter,
exactly.
even back further. But it's a class like this, it's important that it continues to build and grow, because it's the future of local dirt track racing.
Oh yes, it is. It's the big series, late models and all. They're gonna come in for a $10,000 show, and that's about the only way you're going to get those guys that's traveling and stuff. And I think it's local people aren't going to get to see the late models run like they did.
Right.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. No.
It's at the local tracks.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about it a whole lot. I mean, the reality is, because of the way things are in 2024, Battle of the Bluegrass will never be again.
No,
it's just it's a thing of the past. It's not possible with where things are now.
Oh no.
But what we can have is the KDRA Super Stock Series.
Right.
That is something that's possible.
Yeah.
And a big part of the where we're going. It's great to have those 10,000 to win, the World of Outlaws, the Lucas Oil races come in. I love it as much as anybody. I'm a late model fan. Love the national stuff, but you're talking about 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks out of the year here in the state where you get to see that.
Uh-huh.
You got racing going on around here every Saturday night, and things like this, like what you guys are doing, are as important for that aspect of it as anything.
And these guys that run this class, they've got a big fan following too.
Yeah.
I've noticed that. It's not. I mean, you can go to one of those races where the late models, they run them first and the crowd gets up and leaves.
Yeah.
We've seen that everywhere we go.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Put them KDRA guys out here and you'll see the crowd hang around. You can hold them to last. People still be there watching them.
Yeah.
Because they put on that kind of show.
Yeah. They do. Tell us the tracks that you all are going to run this year in your
Get
series.
that schedule handy. We'll be at Richmond will be our opening race on. Do you want to know the whole schedule? Just different tracks.
Just go
Okay.
through it there.
Our opening night, April 27th, be at Richmond Raceway. Then we go to May the 4th, Mud Lick Valley. May the 17th, Mountain Motor Complex. May the 18th, 191 Speedway. June the 1st, Rock Castle Speedway. That'd be the Randy Jones Memorial. That's the 5,000 win.
Mm-hmm.
June the 15th, we'll be at Richmond Raceway again. July the 5th, Mountain Motor Speedway or Mountain Motor Complex. July the 13th, Rock Castle Speedway. August the 3rd, Rock Castle Speedway. August the 17th, 191 Speedway. And we'll have some more September 7th, Rock Castle Speedway, but we'll have probably a couple more races on the schedule.
Okay.
I've had a couple tracks contact me and probably be a couple more added on. I didn't want to overdo the schedule first year, kind of see how it went, and seemed like everybody's happy with what we got, so something, in that area would be what we try to gun for each year.
Yeah. I think it's a good plan. Well, let me, because I think about this. So, is your plan for the series? Your all's plan is it to stay here locally within the state of Kentucky? Because I know a lot of times what you see with series is it starts in Kentucky, and then before you know it, there may be going into Ohio, Indiana, Tennessee. Is your plan to do that, or is your plan to try to keep it here for?
My plan is try to keep it in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Just to be honest with you, I've had a couple out of state tracks already contact me, and I said maybe in the future, we may do
Yeah.
something like that. But it'd be something I would talk over with the drivers
Yeah.
and see if what kind of following we would
Right.
get with that. I mean, you don't want to take these guys all over the country, and I mean, that takes the money out of
Yeah.
their pocket too. It takes a lot to travel with these guys, and anything you do, it's gas,
Yeah.
motel rooms, and all that. It adds up.
None of those things are getting any cheaper. They're they're just getting more expensive every day.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, that's something you definitely got to look at and see if the drivers want to and are willing to travel, or if they want to stay here in the state, and then
Right.
see what kind of drivers. You said you've got the out of state interest. With drivers, let them come to Kentucky and run
Oh,
and
yeah.
see.
I think that's what they're fired up about. It's coming down here and running with guys that they've heard their names and know that they're real competitive, and they want to mix, rub a little paint with them. So
Yeah.
And that's only going to make the series better.
Exactly.
You got different state rivals there, and then our Kentucky driver's going to defend their home turf.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
yeah. Absolutely.
That just makes it that much better.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, for sure.
And I noticed most of these guys, if one guy's got a problem, they don't care to go over and help him out. And,
Yeah.
I've seen that over the years with all these guys that run this KDRA, and they don't care a bit to help the other guy out. And I think that's great when you got that kind of, when you're in those pits and you've got a problem with your car, you got 3 or 4 more guys leaning over your fender working on the car that's
Yeah.
from another crew.
Yep.
I think it's great to see that kind of thing.
It is. It's great to see that kind of sportsmanship, across the board, and really good if you see, points chase. You got the 1 and 2 drivers helping each other.
Yeah.
That's really good to see.
Well, and along those lines too, you're talking about the plan to keep it here. With a series like this, when it comes to like local drivers and super stock drivers, along with a whole lot of other classes, you're talking about working guys that go to work every day and come
Exactly.
home and spend all the time they possibly can on getting the car ready for the next weekend. And the reality is, you get the schedule spread out too much and into too many places, too far away from home. It makes it hard on guys.
Well,
like
them
that.
guys are
That's-
just going to say, I don't have my car ready and I can't
Right.
can't do it this weekend. And a lot of these guys that I've talked to, they work all night Thursday night and got to be up and go to work at 7:00 on Friday morning. And it's hard to go to do a 2-day deal. It's like over the mountains. I think we got a couple that are back to back, and it'll give them a chance if they want to go over there. They get them a motel room, won't have to travel back, and spend the night. I think it'd be a lot easier on everybody by doing that.
Yeah, good way to schedule it there, where you kind of get.
I tried to
get those-
make it easier on them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and it is cool too, like what you were saying there just a minute ago, Wes, talking about this with it being the local guys and just an opportunity to shine. You said shine a light on local competition. I remember back in the day, and I was thinking about this earlier in the week. I can't really figure out what it is, what the reason is, but it just seems like we've got social media, with Facebook, we've got YouTube, we've got all these tools, platforms available to us, but it seems like with these, like with the super stocks, for example, I remember back when I was a kid, you go to Richmond, I looked forward to watching at that time it was the Road Hogs, and as much as I did the late models.
Oh,
But
yeah.
you had, Glenn Hounshell and Bartley Grant and Darrell Kane and Wayne Duvall and just local guys from right there in the area.
Yeah, within
but
10 miles or 20 miles of the track.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were all right there.
they were as well known as any late model guy that would
Oh,
come
yeah.
in back
Exactly.
in that day and put on as a better show with the beating and banging and weekly, and there was rivalries going on.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
So I see that a series like this having a big impact on that as much as anything.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Sort
think
of
so.
giving an opportunity to put the spotlight back on these guys to where people can see, like it was back in the old day, where you had local guys.
Oh, yeah.
With rivalries and weekly going at each other. At the same time, like we said, they help each other out in the pits. But once they get on the racetrack, I want to see them. I want to see them go at each other.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So-
Take a little of that paint off that quarter. Man.
it don't cost me anything.
we
for 'em
know
to do
we had a
that.
race when that happens.
Yeah. Doesn't cost me a dime.
It's yeah, I'm excited for it. I think this thing's going to go great. I'm just, so many people have called me and talked about it, and it's just I'm real excited about it. I think I got a crew that's excited about it too. They all ready to do this thing, so
Yeah,
I can't let them down. We got to go with it.
I know, Brother David there. He's super excited. He's blowed my phone up. I mean, he's like a kid on Christmas morning. He's like, man, we got this going, and we got these people are interested. We got these sponsors that have, contacted us and said, hey, let's meet, let's talk about this, and it's exciting. It really is to see all that.
Yeah, David has done a lot. I'll have to say he's really, really helped a lot. Michael's been right there. He's talked to people, and it's been a group effort. It's not me. It's everybody around me. My wife, Michael's wife, all of them. They've just been a big help. Braden, I mean, it's a big family affair, I guess you could say.
Exactly, and that's what it takes. It takes everybody working together to make it all come together and work.
And it is. It's coming together. But I'm excited for that first race. Get that one in the books, and we'll see where it goes from there.
And the end of April will be here before we know it.
It's creeping right up on us.
Yeah.
But
just really excited, looking forward to it, and it is. It's gonna be a good thing, and those guys put on a great show. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. They will put on a great show.
Yeah, they will for sure.
Yeah,
and I'm sure you are. All of you are ready to get that first one under your belt. You talk race director for Battle of the Bluegrass and doing so many things, but I'm sure there's things different about when you're taking on a series here. You guys are and building it from the ground up. So
it's
some things.
A lot of work to it. People think, well, they just threw out some numbers and put this thing together. No, there's a lot more to it than that. A lot of phone calls, a lot of back and forth with me and David, me and Michael. I mean, we just, we're on the phone constantly talking back and forth about this stuff. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
But I love it. That's the thing about it. It's always been in my blood to do it, and it almost took my life, but I didn't, and I'm still here.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're very very thankful for that, for sure. And like I said, it's so exciting to me to see you getting back in it, and you've always been a big part of the sport here in this area, and so for you to be back involved with this, and all of you guys to jump in and get this thing going, it's really a cool thing.
Yeah, it's great. I just love it, and I appreciate you guys getting it out there.
For sure.
You're very welcome. Yeah. We're thankful to be here and to have you all on tonight.
Yeah.
I think with anything you do too, when it comes to dirt racing, you have to love it. Like it just, if you didn't love this stuff, it wouldn't be worth it, because there's a lot involved in anything you take on.
Well, my wife thinks I'm a little crazy.
Yeah, mine does too. Yeah, you ain't alone in that. Yeah, mine does too.
But she's been a big supporter. 110%. She's got my back. Always has. And when I started talking about this thing, she kind of shook her head about it.
Yeah.
But it grew on her.
Yeah.
So here we are.
Yeah.
We're headed that way.
Yeah. Well, good. Because it is. It's a lot to take on. I'll be honest with you. I had people contact me and ask about starting the series, and no way. So I'll do a podcast. I'll let somebody else handle the series, and so it's definitely something that's needed. So I'm glad you all did that, because Wes knows we had people talk to us, and I don't think I want to get into all that.
Yeah.
So
it's tough.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but if you got a love for it, it'll all work out.
What's been the thing that's maybe, I don't know if surprised is the right word, but what's the thing maybe you didn't see getting into this? What's been the biggest challenge or getting it going?
The biggest challenge has been for me that I can't be hands-on with everything like I always was before. Yeah. And that really bothers me, But like I said, I surrounded myself with some great people, and I think they'll do fine. They don't, I'll pull them by the ear, and we'll talk. No, I've got a good bunch behind me. There's no doubt about it. No.
Well, you've definitely put a strong team together, like you said, around you, and, all of you are passionate about it. And, you got the support of the wives, so that's that's always a plus and a positive.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out down the line.
For right now, anyway.
For right now.
We're there, yeah.
For now, you've got the support of the wives. You have to have that.
You got to have it.
If it wasn't for that,
if it hadn't been for Karen through all this that I've been through, personally, I don't know that I would have made it without her. I mean, because she's pushed me to keep going, And it's there was times when I could have gave up and said, you see people do it all the time, but I never gave up.
I'll be honest. I know, Wes, you probably feel the same way. I think most people probably would have. I think it says a lot about you to, go through what you've been through, and here you are. I don't need that anyway. We'll do it after the show. But and then to be back in this position doing what you're doing is just man, it's just such a cool thing. It really is.
You got to have a love for it. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
The feeling I get when I get to a racetrack. It's
the going joke between you and my wife.
What?
About the joke between you and Jacinda.
Oh, we'll leave that alone.
Foot race.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. His things like his wife. Oh, I thought you were talking about the other thing. What happened to me in the house the other day? But that's. No, Jacinda, she's always ragging me about. She said she's going.
Before she was going through chemo.
Yeah, she went through chemo, and our big thing was we was going to do a marathon together.
Oh yeah,
because. There was times when we really worried about Jacinda, and she came through this thing, pulled out of it. It was nothing to her. I mean, we called it Allen Tilley strong because everybody kept saying that about me, and
right.
So that's what I said about Jacinda, and it was really. It's just hard to explain how it felt when she pulled through all that.
Yeah, absolutely, and just an awesome thing. I mean, it really is. Well, one other thing I've never run a series before, but don't know the ins and outs of much of it. But I can imagine it. In order to run a series, you've got to have there's got to be money somehow. You're talking about points funds and all this kind of stuff, and a lot to pay for as a series. So I know you've had a lot of people.
I have a big list of supporters. Partners in this. David, have you got the list of all the
Michael,
you got it, Michael. Todd Steel Buildings, of course, is the main sponsor for the series. We got Diamond Auto Collision. We got CT Promotions, Fox Tire Pros. We got American Race Tire, came on this week. Knob Creek Farms, 10W Auto Sales out of Science Hill. We got Roark and Sons Trucking. We've got Childers Trucking, Dick's Plumbing. Got a couple of these that's kind of hard to make out. Mark Black, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him. He used to run this class a long time ago, and he was a big name in the Super Stock class.
Yeah, okay.
And he's going to pay $100 each week for a trophy dash.
I got you.
And that's pretty big to have people like that coming on.
Yeah, for sure.
Just so many people's helped out. You got Swafford Signs. They've been great. TW Trailer Sales. We've got, Rainmaker Race Cars, Razor's Edge. We got United Rail Service. It's a contractor with the railroad. We got Single Shot Powder Coating out of Science Hill. Tommy's Logging. And there's a few more on here that I've got to get new logos made up on, and then I'll be sharing those out.
Yeah, I got you.
But, and one we picked up today is Remax Realtors. Barry Turner with Remax Lake Time Realty, Somerset and London.
Yeah.
We just picked him up today, had dinner with him. He's wanting to do some pretty big things for him, just like Tyrell Todd has with Todd Steel Buildings. You know, it's we've really got a lot of support.
Yeah.
It's growing, so.
Yeah, that's a big list there.
And you cannot do it without these
contributors.
guys, you know.
Yeah.
And we really appreciate everything and all of them everything they've done. It's been wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a really good thing, and it's none of this is possible without people willing to step up and support and sponsor and help out. This sort of thing is it's a hard thing to put together, and make sure you've got like I said, you got a points fund. I think I saw where Todd Steel Buildings was also doing what are they doing, Fast Time Award too, or Hard Charger?
Hard Charger.
Oh, okay, they're doing
Charger
Hard
all
Charger.
year, yeah.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, I mean, they came on with that after they were title sponsor. Tyrell called me one day and he said, "How about this?" And I said, "Hey, buddy, let's do it."
Yeah.
No
He
problem.
said that sounds good.
But
Yeah.
I've been around Tyrell and his dad. They ran with the Battle of Bluegrass years ago too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I've been around them a long time. And Billy and I ran around together when we were younger. It was always pretty close growing up and stuff. Knew each other real well and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's nice to have these people to come on board, and you can't do it out of pocket.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
It takes all these great people. All I get to do is sit out here and take it in and make sure these drivers get it. That's basically what it's all about.
Yeah.
It's all for them.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely it is. And like I said, we're really looking forward to it. Appreciate what you guys have done. I mean, I know it's a lot to take on, a lot to put together, a lot to get organized, and show up at the racetrack, and then you're trying to run a show and get drivers there and tech drivers and all that kind of stuff. I think that's one of the hardest things when it comes to running a series is the tech aspect of it. Trying to make sure you're making everybody happy and doing your part to try to keep everybody legal. Somebody's always cheating, especially if they win. So that's what somebody's going to call somebody out for cheating anyway.
And I don't care how good you are, you cannot catch all that. There's things. There's so many little things that they can do to just throw you for a loop. I mean, really.
I don't mean that they are necessarily either.
No, nobody cheats in racing. Of
course, I don't think anybody's ever done such a thing. But, but it does seem like, though, if somebody wins and goes on a winning streak, it's always
that's what somebody's going to say. Well, they're cheating,
right? Yeah.
What I can assure you, they're going to get called out if that.
Yeah, for sure. But
I'll be the bias as it comes. So
yeah,
no different than the next.
yeah,
That's right.
that's
That's what you got to do. I mean, it's
We're here to race and do it right.
yeah.
it's everybody, and you try to keep that playground level even as possible. I mean, everybody's going to have one guy's going to have an edge. I don't care what you do.
right.
One guy's going to have an edge.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
But that's part of racing, man.
Yeah.
He's figured out something you didn't figure out.
Right.
That's just the way it is.
Well, yeah, and it's good. Like I said, you all took on something that I, wouldn't be in a position to be able to do and would want to do, because it's a tough thing, but it's a rewarding thing too. And I mean, especially I think when you think about what going into the first year, but what this thing could possibly turn into and mean for our sport here locally. It's a very exciting thing.
I just expect it to grow. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all in the effort that we're going to put into it, and also we got to have that effort from our sponsors and drivers, and I think the support that we get from that is going to tell the tale.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel it every day. It's phone calls I get, and it's there. So we just got to go out there and get it.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, it's a cool thing that you're doing. Like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's better that you're taking it on than me. I do need to mention this real quick too, because Wes, I can't even build a website and get it up and going and keep it going. So we decided we've talked about it. We'd like to have a way just to sell our T-shirts and stuff online, and then I got to looking at building a website, and I realized that the cost and everything involved with even having the website, it was hard to justify having this just for our stuff. So I came up with the idea, and I said, well, why not build a website to where we could have for local Kentucky racing merchandise, T-shirts, all of it, put it all in one place.
Mm-hmm. Great idea.
Yeah, be a great opportunity to sell everybody's T-shirts.
Right.
We can help each other. We can help everybody. We can sell more of our shirts. We can sell more driver shirts, series, tracks, all of it.
Oh, speaking of T-shirts, I'll have plenty of those too.
Yeah, well, good. So. Yeah, we'll get some of them. We'll get some of them and put them on the website. Yeah. Once we get it back up and going. That is because,
how many days were we up and running?
Yeah, I think like 1.5. Yeah. So,
but anyway, finish what you was gonna tell.
It was a whole 30 hours, I think it was, in total, because everything was going good, and I realized there's this whole thing. You guys have probably heard about it. You've probably heard of sales tax. It's a pretty common thing.
Yeah,
when you go to buy something, you got to pay sales tax on the customer side. So I knew that I just wanted to get it up and going to see how it would go before I went through all the trouble of going through the state and doing all this stuff to be able to sell, to charge sales tax. So we opened it up that first day, got some orders in. Everything was going good. I didn't put my address in the website. I was like, I'll wait on that till later. Well, I go to print some shipping labels for those first orders, and I put my address in there because it asked for my street address. And as soon as I did that, a big red warning, you can't go further than this. Now that you've entered a physical location in Kentucky, you have to charge sales tax.
Right.
I'm like, man. So I'm like talking to customer support there, and I'm like, can I just take the website, the address out of the website? I don't need it. I was joking. I don't really live in Kentucky, just kidding. Well, I'm in the queue waiting, and it's like, hey, so and such, we'll have a representative with you here in just a minute. And it comes on and it says, Jesus has joined the chat. And I was like, man, this was not meant to be just to sell a few T-shirts, So I'm on there and I'm talking to Jesus, and I'm like, can we just take the address out? And he says, no. Now that you've put it in there, we can't take it back out. Uh-huh. So, needless to say, we couldn't go any further, and we had to shut the site down until I can get sales tax ID and some stuff from the state to be able to continue that. So,
there's a little red tape to all that.
Yeah, I failed at being able to build and run a website. So good thing you're running the series. So, but we do hope, and I wanted to mention that real quick because I do think once we're able to get it up and permanently
it's
going,
wonderful, wonderful idea. Just get those little red warning labels green,
get them
and
taken
we'll
off
just
and
keep
let us
going.
advance. I'll get that tax ID from the state so I can charge some sales taxes. But I just think we have to keep finding ways to do more and more of that, whether it's a series or a website where we can help people sell merchandise, come together to do that sort of stuff locally is really it's important. I mean, I think there are a lot of drivers out there who could sell some T-shirts, but they don't have a good way or opportunity to be able to do that,
and a lot of them don't want to deal with it.
Or even
they
deal
really
with
don't.
it. Yeah, they don't have time for it. Yeah,
I've heard them say that for years. I don't want to deal with that. Mm-hmm. And so if they had someone to do it for them, I think they would be all good with that.
Yeah, well, and it's definitely an avenue, for us to sell, our shirts, but also to sell, tracks across the state, drivers, series, and just an avenue. Well, they'll come in to buy one of their shirts and then buy one of ours or vice versa.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, it really is, because I think there's a lot of money out there. I look at it like this. Nationally, it's a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we were talking about this a little bit before the show come on. There's this constant conversation national with stuff that's going on nationally. With whether it's streaming or is it good or is it bad. And I think sometimes locally, if we can still use something that's working nationally, why can't it work locally?
Right.
And if there's a lot of money for a race team to be made, and selling a few T-shirts, they can help them out, be able to get up and down the road and follow this series. So I mean, bluegrassdirtmerch.com. It's if you go there now, it'll say store opening soon, because you can't get on it. But I do think it could be just another way. I don't think it's going to slow down sales at the track or with you guys.
No, it's not. I think
anyway,
it's a great idea. I think
people,
it'll work good for you.
Yeah, going online and say, hey, man, I'm going to go on there and buy a Dirt Racing in the Bluegrass T-shirt. Oh, there's a KDRA Super Stock Series shirt. I'm going to buy it too. So I think it'll be a good.
I think so too.
Could be a good thing if I can keep it. Get it back open and keep it open. So, but we'll just have to see.
You'll have to get through that red tape first.
Yeah. There's always red tape.
There's always, anything you do.
Like I said, I knew that was going to happen. I was just trying to buy myself a few days to get it up,
get it
up and going.
Yeah.
So because
they're laying out there waiting for that though.
Yeah, they're not going to miss out on it.
No,
unfortunately.
no, not.
Yeah, but it's tough because it's like with all this stuff, even with what you're doing, we just guys that go to the racetrack love going to the races, race fans. We'd be there either way.
Right.
Doing this podcast and stuff and going to the state, it's so much fun, just like you guys. If you weren't doing all this, you're there or tuned in some way. It's just race fan. It's in our blood, and glad to be a part of.
My wife walk out of the house and I'll have TV going. I have my iPad going. If I had one more thing out here to have it going, I would have it going with a race on it too. So it's, she said I've got it bad. So I thought I've had that for years. So it's not gonna change now.
Right.
Yeah, I think we all do.
We do.
Yeah, I think we do. Well, we've talked a whole lot about the past. We talked about your involvement with Battle of the Bluegrass, and you've always been involved. Everyone in this room been involved with the sport. Of course, the present with the KDRA Super Stock Series. We're excited about that. Can't wait till the first race. It might be a whole lot more fun for us than it will you guys going to be busy trying to get all this stuff going, but anyways, it's going to be a lot of fun, really, overall.
Oh yeah.
The other thing that we've tried to talk about on all of our Road to Race Day episodes so far, I think this makes the third one, and we're probably going to have to wrap it up with this, Wes, because next week the Spring 50, and it's going to be racing season here in the state. But I want to talk about the future too, and you've been involved with this sport for a long time. You've been in many roles and stuff, and important roles, and done some really cool things. But when it comes to the future of our sport locally here in Kentucky, what do you think is the most important thing? What do you think?
Well, most important thing is to support your racetracks. I mean, they're closing every day.
Yeah.
I mean, I see them. I see them online all the time for sale. Becoming business property and stuff for big buildings, and it's sad to see that. And I think people get out and support their tracks and can keep these promoters going. Mm-hmm. You see less of that. People say TV. We've talked about this. The races being broadcast and stuff. I honestly don't see that hurting dirt racing that much. I really don't.
Well, there's an argument there. I think when it comes to that, we talked about this, before the show started too. But I think, there's one argument to that, and that's like I said, that seems like a constant conversation. But you look at the events that are being streamed are constantly every year breaking attendance records.
Attendance records,
so it's hard to argue, at least for those events, that it's having a negative impact, because they seem to be growing and growing. So
and tell you what else we had talked about and touched on was, also having it on that platform is, opening up to new, people that's never watched dirt racing can see it, streamed,
Yeah.
and in turn, well, they're gonna, let's go watch a race. That's there's
Yeah.
one locally 15 minutes down the road or an hour. Let's go watch a race and open that avenue up too, because they've never been there before.
That's right.
So you can look at it that way too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing. Just people supporting these racetracks, and I mean, these promoters, they go through a lot.
Yeah.
Sure
Getting
they
these
do.
races put together. They've got big expenses on grandstands. They've got parking lots to take care of. They've got there's a lot there. Lights hanging. Those lights aren't cheap that
Yeah.
you turn on every night for those races. I don't think people understand that. And it's but yeah, stand behind your promoters and racetracks and
Yeah.
keep this thing going that we love.
Yes.
Yeah. Cut them some slack every chance you get to. Like I said, I've been a race fan my whole life. Wes, we've been involved in this sport for a long time, just as a fan before we started doing this podcast, and we've. I've been in the stands my whole life, and so often you're sitting in the stands and you're either a part of or you hear of a conversation where everybody's sitting there and they're adding the money up, like a big race. How much the promoters make.
yeah.
You guys know what I'm talking about. You've heard those conversations
yeah.
before as a race fan.
Oh,
See, here's something I've thought about just because we're finally getting close. Winter's almost over. It's starting to warm up. We're getting closer and closer to race day. But
Forward tonight too.
yeah. You think about, too, though, these racetracks, there's almost 6 months out of the year that they're closed for the winter. And you know what? The bills are still coming in.
Exactly.
The mortgages, whatever. I mean, but there's still costs, and they can't have events. That's something that I think there's so many things that so many people don't think about.
Oh, yeah.
On top of all that they have to deal with during the
Actual
racing
season.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that fans don't see and don't understand until you're there talking to them, and it's like, well, I got X, Y, and Z that the normal fan don't understand and would never know. What the track promoters and owners and what they've got to
you got the people that like to get on the internet and talk bad about the promoter or the racetrack, or if you got a problem with them guys, go talk to them.
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to work out a problem. You go handle it like a man and talk to him. He's going to talk to you.
For sure, yeah.
Just tell him what your problem is, and he'll share his problem with you.
That's the best way is go straight to whoever you've got the problem with, talk it out,
That's
be
right.
done with it.
That's right. Get it over with.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, and I've seen several conversations go on. People go up to a promoter, whatever, have a conversation. I've never seen a situation where the promoter wasn't willing to have that conversation.
Exactly.
They're always open to conversation from what
Right.
I've seen. But I will say that we've been doing this now for a couple of years, it has. I don't know if you'd agree with this, Wes, but it has opened my eyes to a lot of things that I didn't realize
Absolutely it
before.
has.
Just
Yeah.
how hard,
Exactly.
how tough all this
Yeah.
this
It-
stuff
it-
is that you don't see.
Yeah, because you've definitely got a better understanding after we've kind of been in this business for a couple of years now, and it's definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things, and you don't think of it till
It's that side of the fence is a whole lot different than this side of the fence.
it sure is.
It's a different game.
Yeah, it is. We're just in it for fun, but just so many times, and you get to an end of an event, and you see all these guys. You have so much respect for them, and so much appreciation for what they do, and so many times by the end of an event, and you see that promoter, and he's just drained,
Yeah,
sad,
he's
or she, but just drained, sad.
yeah.
It's a very. I never realized just how hard of a thing it was.
It is definitely tough on those
Yeah.
guys. It is.
Yeah.
That's why you see a lot of them throw their hands up and leave too. They get out of it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really hard.
Yeah.
But you got to have a love for it, like we talked about. It's if you don't have a love for it, you don't need to be in it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because it will end up getting you. You know, it's just that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Yeah, it sure will. So, yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Support your local racetracks every opportunity you get, and I think along those same lines, go have a conversation with people and keep the bad stuff off social media, because they've
it's
got
no good for anybody.
enough that they're going through to not have to deal with the backlash on social media. Unfortunately, you know, I think social media is such a great tool. It's such a great thing. We wouldn't have the opportunity to do this, which is such a good thing for our sport locally. But we wouldn't have that without social media.
Right.
But there's also a negative side to it too, unfortunately. That's always going to be there. And I think part of it is, I heard people talk about this with Kentucky basketball. You know, like if you grew up in this state and you liked basketball, as a fan, you're passionate about it.
Exactly.
And I think the same thing's true about dirt racing. Like we're passionate about this stuff. We are. It means a whole lot to us. You
wouldn't be involved in it if
we
you didn't.
sleep and breathe.
I mean, that's
So use that passion in a positive
way.
You know?
Yeah,
exactly.
So, yeah,
I agree with that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I want to make sure we covered everything you guys wanted to talk about.
Yeah, if you got anything you want to talk about, Michael.
I think you covered it all.
But you have my back, right?
You got that.
David, do you got anything you'd like to say?
Yeah. So,
I really appreciate you guys and what you do for dirt racing. I mean, I keep up with you.
Do you?
I do.
Cool.
Good.
Well, good. Yeah. He's got us on one of the 3 screens out here in the garage.
Yeah, that's right. I got you on one of them.
Yeah, I feel that makes me feel good. We've got one of the 3 Allen Tilley screens out here.
Yeah,
in the garage, buddy. You got a good
I've
setup,
got room
so
for a
good.
couple more out here, so
we might have to slide a few more in. But no, I tell you what, this like I said, this will probably be our last one. This Road to Race Day, only our second season doing dirt racing in the Bluegrass Live. First time spending the off season we could, going around and talking to several people who mean a whole lot to our sport here locally, and that's been a whole lot of fun. We're gonna have to keep doing this and into the future, because it's been a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed it, and being able to go and you know, meet and talk to these people that you know, mean so much to our sport across the state, and hopefully we'll be able to have more of those opportunities throughout the year and in the off season next year.
Yeah.
I've got one more person I'd like to bring up. Chris Tilley, my son. He's going to do our announcing and take care of a lot of the PR stuff for us, and I hadn't mentioned it yet, but I really appreciated him stepping up and helping us out. He's got a lot going on himself with his traveling series, and he's going to be busy, but he made room for us, so I really appreciated him doing that, and it's going to be a big help to all of us. So.
Yeah, that's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely catch us mid-season, see how we're coming along.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we'll have to do we might have to do a mid-season conversation halfway through and see how
it goes.
Yeah, see how it's going. I'm sure it'll go great, and yeah, it'll be a whole lot of fun, and looking forward to it. So our regular season, I guess you could call it, for the podcast, the regular show Wednesday nights at 8:00. We're going to get back into the flow of things, get back on our regular schedule. That's coming up on March 20th.
Okay.
It's Wednesday, March 20th. We're going to be starting that. We will start with our season previews for our racetracks. We like to do that at the beginning of the year. Every year, try to get them all on, everybody that wants to talk about their upcoming seasons at the racetrack. So we'll be starting that on March 20th. That's Wednesday. It'll be back at 8 p.m. doing it every week. And, of course, I do want to say real quick, too, we really appreciate everybody that came on board with us this year to sponsor us. It's just been truly incredible to see the support of the local racing community and businesses that have just helped us big time to be able to do this.
You got to have it. I mean, it's
It's people that wants to sponsor.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
They come pouring. I mean, as soon as they found out Allen was putting one on, I mean, Todd Builders was first in the call.
Yeah.
And you know, I really appreciate all of them. I mean, and Todd stepping up like they did, it was great. You know, it really made me feel good.
Yeah.
You know, personally, to think that they had faith in me to do this. Of course, I've been around it my whole life, and they all know me and dealt with me, and even some of them that I've had a word or two with, you know, even called me and talked to me about this. But
Hey, it's part of it.
That's part of it. Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
But it does. It means so much, you know, for the sponsorship and you know, them wanting to come and, you know, just be on board and help help with what you're doing. It means so much.
Oh, it does. It really does.
Yeah, and it means a whole lot to us too. Like I said, and once we start our regular show, we've got a sponsor for each segment, so we'll be able to do a better job of promoting each sponsor with the segments and give us a little bit of time to promote them and talk about their
we've
business.
got them on the back of our T-shirts.
Yeah,
we
do.
We've got all of our sponsors on the back, and reach out to us if you all out there are interested in T-shirts. They're $25, and we've got them in the black and the gray, and pretty sharp shirts. Billy did a great job.
He did, yeah. I think the gray, man. I think the gray is it might be my favorite. I mean, I like the black a whole lot, but it's hard to
with this
say.
Columbia
PFG
UK.
Yeah, you really make that dirt race on the bluegrass shirt look good. I'm telling you what.
It looks good. Cats got a win today.
That's right. Vols. They did, man. Beat the Vols in Knoxville.
Yeah, Knoxville.
It's it's been a good day.
As they said on the radio, we own Rocky Top.
Yeah, and Tom Leach and the Cats own Rocky Top. Yeah, I love it. So, but it's been a good day. You can't beat a Kentucky win, and got a chance to sit here and talk dirt racing, talk KDRA Super Stock Series. It's been a whole lot of fun. Thank you.
Yes, it's been a great day.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun for me too.
Yeah,
good.
Appreciate it.
Say something that I come from the drag racing world, and what's it been? Probably 4 years ago I got into racing.
Yeah.
This would be the first year that I actually ain't raced, but the atmosphere since I started this, which I done it a long time ago, but it's more family oriented.
Yeah.
I mean, you might be battling on track, but when it comes time to go to the pits, everybody's helping each other.
Yeah.
That's why this world needs to be.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that. It's the racing family, dirt racing family is a community is a close family, and
yes, it is.
In a whole lot of ways. So very thankful for that. Thank you to everybody who's been on here with us this evening, watching live here. This will also be available later on, hopefully by tomorrow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to podcasts. So check it out there if you didn't catch all this, or the replay is always available on Facebook after the live video ends. So go back and watch that. We had a lot of details and information about the KDRA Super Stock Series. Guys, thank you so much for having us. It means a lot.
Thank you
really
very much.
enjoyed it with you all, and I'm sure
Appreciate
we'll
it.
see you around the track this year.
Yeah.
We'll reach around cords here, yeah. So, it's been another fun episode of the Road to Race Day here on Dirt Racing and the Bluegrass Live. Thank you all for joining us. If all goes well, we'll see you next Saturday night at Florence Speedway for the Spring 50. Can't wait.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you all.